So, if we now look at the growth story in say the IT sector, there is this notion that floats around that the IT sector grew from the 1980s and 1990s to the current day because the government was not able to impose its license raj and have all those stifling controls that it had on industry. Is that something that you hold true?
I would absolutely hold it true, absolutely, in full acknowledgement of what you said. We should not be holding back entrepreneurship, initiative, enterprise. In IT sector, we did not apply our controls. We let entrepreneurship flourish. We let market determine the activity. Otherwise, for 40 years in India, or I shouldn't say 40 years, at least 35 years, we had a setup where if you produced more toothpaste than you were licensed to, you were allowed to produce 2 tons of toothpaste a month. And 2 tons may translate into say 20,000 tubes. If you produce 21,000, instead of rewarding you, you paid a heavy penalty for producing 1,000 toothpastes more. Ridiculous. Here there is a black market, there is a availability of goods is in short supply in the country, and here we were taxing, penalizing somebody who produced more. That is how the automobile market in India flourished. People took licenses, preempted capacities, and did not produce up to their capacity. Because the Planning Commission said 50,000 cars should be licensed. 50,000 cars got divided amongst 3 producers. The 3 producers, I'm not saying cartelization, but none of them produced to its capacity. Everybody commanded a premium in the process, and the new person was not allowed to come. It was ridiculous. There is no other word for the kind of industrial licensing regime which we had in the country. I think the influence of the Soviet model of planning, that we could get to such nitty-gritties, every input output could be planned, did not work well in India at all.
So you were talking about the fact that public interest should not be used as an excuse for every kind of land acquisition, and the Land Acquisition Act that we're going to have, the amended one, will ensure that fair play is done. If you look at public interest across in other sectors, for example, the case of power, where if you want to supply power and to below poverty line households or even rural households, it is way too expensive to have that power supplied to them at a cost that they can afford. So then you cross-subsidize it. You tax industry in a way by charging them higher power, or tax even a domestic consumer slightly higher than what he would have to pay, and definitely a lot more to the commercial consumer. But are we distorting the power markets over here? Are we disincentivizing investments in transmission and distribution and indeed generation to get industry up to full potential, to give them full realization of the cost of power?
No, I have absolutely no doubt that cross-subsidization spoils the market. We should not be, under any circumstances, be doing this cross-subsidization beyond a point. And cross-subsidization is best done if it is done through government subsidies, rather than making one sector pay for the other. It is merely because we do not have the funds in this country for that sort of a thing that we have been asking one sector to pay for the other, which is undesirable, should not be followed. Absolutely no doubt in my mind about that. But having said that, the question is, in India, we have not done enough to produce more electricity. Any sort of disincentive, not only for transmission but also for generation itself, must remain. Otherwise, you would face the same situation which generators, developers have faced in the past, that they are not getting adequate return. Earlier, the governments decided what the adequate return should be. The Ministry of Power, Central Electricity Authority, all wings of the government. Luckily, now we have our regulators who are to decide that. And I'm sure that the principle which has been laid down in the Electricity Act, that upfront subsidy to agriculture, if it has to be paid, should be out of the budget. So, which is to ensure that the incentives remain for the developer.